He was one of the top heels during the 1980s and 1990s, which was a rarity for an African American in the world of professional wrestling. He did it, and he did it well. What's happening, everybody? I'm Todd Tanner. This is Wrestling News Now. In profile tonight, the one and only Brickhouse Brown. Frederick Seawright was born on the 11th of August of 1960 and passed away on the 29th of July of 2018. He was an American professional wrestler better known by his ring name, Brickhouse Brown. He was a top heel in several Southern promotions in the 1980s and 1990s. Let's talk about it on tonight because there are so many top heels in the industry, but he did it and he did it well. Brown's first matches in professional wrestling were for Southwest Championship Wrestling under Joe Blanchard in San Antonio, Texas. He had no training prior to his first match in 1982 against Bobby Jaggers, but was later trained by Terry Funk. In 1983, he joined the National Wrestling Alliance, and for the next 4 years he competed in various territories, especially within the Southeast. In September 1985, he won the NWA Southeastern Tag Team Championship with Norvell Austin, defeating the Nightmares. They lost the title back to the Nightmares a week later. Ain't that a blip? In the summer of 1986, Brown worked for World Wrestling Federation, where he scored upset victories over Moondog Rex and Tiger Chung Lee. He would lose to the Iron Sheik, Bob Orton Jr., Harley Race, and Hercules Hernandez. In March 1987, Brown went to Memphis to wrestle for Championship Wrestling Association. In July 1987, he won the first singles title, the AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship, defeating Jerry Lawler, the King himself. He lost the title back to him a week later. In May 1988, he defeated Max Payne to win the CWA Heavyweight Championship. He held this top title for nearly 2 months before losing it to Phil Hickerson in August 1988. Brown got involved in a racially charged angle with Robert Fuller and the Stud Stable, wherein Fuller gave Brown a watermelon as a gift and beat him with the leather strap. It ain't happening today, y'all. Know that. Angle or no angle, it ain't going down. Believe that. Because of the co-promoting with the American Wrestling Association and World Class Championship Wrestling, he also had a chance to wrestle in the AWA and the WCCW. After Super Clash 3, the AWA pulled out and the CWA-WCCW cross-promotion continued as Jerry Lawler bought Fitz Von Eric's major stake in WCCW. In February 1989, Brown won the WCCW Texas Heavyweight Championship, defeating Iceman King Parsons. He was champion for over a month before losing to Gary Young. In late 1989, he briefly returned to Florida for Professional Wrestling Federation and the Gulf Coast for Continental Wrestling Federation. Back in Memphis in April 1990, he won the USWA World Tag Team Championship with Sweet Daddy Falcone, defeating the Southern Rockers. They kept the belts for nearly a month before losing them back to the Southern Rockers. In November 1991, he went to Portland for Pacific Northwest Wrestling. His run in Portland ended in June 1992. Back in Memphis in April 1995, Brown won his second USWA World Tag Team Championship with the Gambler, defeating PG-13. They held on to the belts for over 2 weeks before losing them back to PG-13. In July 1995, Brown competed in the World Wrestling Federation as enhancement talent and worked 2 TV tapings, one against Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, The Game, and the next and the next night against Henry O. Godwin. In August 1995, he wrestled Ozark Mountain Wrestling, which was the USWA's development territory. In May 1996, he won the USWA Television Championship, defeating Jesse James Armstrong. A month and a half later, he dropped the belt to Wolfie D. In 1996, he quickly rebounded and won his third and final USWA World Tag Team Championship with Reggie B. Fine, defeating Bart Sawyer and Flex Kavana. They held on to the title for 3 weeks before losing it to the Moondogs. Brown left USWA in January 1997 before the company folded later that November. After leaving the USWA, Brown remained active in the independent scene for 20 years, mainly in Tennessee and Mississippi, until his career diagnosis in 2017, until his cancer diagnosis in 2017. At Juggalo Championship Wrestling 2011, Internet pay-per-view legends and icons. He was one of 4 USWA's alumni who lost a 5-way match to Austin Idol. So this is a very compelling, this is a very compelling and interesting story. In 2017, Brown announced his diagnosis of stage 4 prostate cancer. In May 2018, he said, the cancer has spread to the brain despite treatment that impaired his eyesight and reduced his weight to 150 pounds. Several Southern promotions held benefit shows to help pay his medical bills, and the Cauliflower Alley Club's benevolent fund helped him pay his rent. Brown was reported dead on July 20th, 2018 from prostate cancer. The next day, Cauliflower Alley president B. Brian Blair said Brown was still alive after waking up in the night and telling his mother, who thought he was dead and was awaiting the coroner, that he was hungry. Brown died on July 29th, 2018. His funeral, or homegoing as we say in our culture, took place in Florida on August 11th, which would have been his 58th birthday. Brickhouse Brown, R.I.P. big fella. Rest in peace. So Brickhouse Brown, let's talk about his championships and his accomplishments. He won the Continental Wrestling Association AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship 1 time, the CWA Heavyweight Championship 1 time. And so within the New Age Wrestling Alliance, he won the NAWA Heavyweight Championship 1 time. He won the AWA Tag Team Championship 2 times with CJ Stardust. In the AWA Battle Zone, he won the NWA Mississippi Heavyweight Championship 1 time. In the NWA Mid-South, he won the NWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship 1 time. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 130 of the 500 best single wrestlers of the year in the PWI 500 in 1992. PWI ranked him number 451 of the top 500 single wrestlers of the PWI years 2003. Within the Southeastern Championship, he won the Southeastern Championship Wrestling, or the NWA Southeastern Tag Team Championship 1 time with Nova Austin. He also won the South Greatest Wrestling Fans, or the SGWF Heavyweight Championship 1 time. He won the USWA, United States Wrestling Television Championship 1 time. He won the USWA World Tag Team Championship 3 times with Sweet Daddy Falcone, the Gambler, and with Reggie B. Fine. He won the WCWA, or World Class Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship 1 time, and within the WWE, Brickhouse Brown was inducted, Brickhouse Brown was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame Legacy Wing in the class of 2020. So I say, once again, to Brickhouse Brown, rest in peace, gone but never forgotten. For Wrestling News Now, I'm Todd Tanner.